The Hermosa Beach Fire Department began its long and rich history in 1907 with an all-volunteer fire department. The population of Hermosa grew from approximately 600 residents in 1907 to 15,000 residents in the 1950s. As the city grew, so did the fire department, and by 1957, we employed 5 full-time paid firefighters each day. We eventually outgrew the original station, and in 1959, the Hermosa Beach Fire Department moved into their current quarters at 540 Pier Avenue.
911, what's the emergency?
Currently, all Hermosa Beach firefighters are trained paramedics.
Well, one of the things that I think that we can be proud of, Hermosa and Manhattan are the top 3% in the country that have only paramedic staff. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
The numbers is 70% medical calls, 30% fire related and any other hazards.
I dialed 911 and I could hear the fire thing start up within a minute while I'm still on that phone.
My 11-year-old would not be here today if it wasn't for the firemen.
My 90-year-old neighbor had an incident. My wife tells me there's 2 fire trucks out there and the ambulance, and they were there immediately.
As time has gone on, the firefighter job description has evolved.
It's not uncommon to respond to a heart attack victim, building collapse, trench rescues, confined space rescues. There's much more to the modern fire service than people realize.
I think everyone here would agree that staffing over the past 20-some years has been the issue.
Currently, our daily staffing is 5 firefighters on duty every day. We're required to have 6 on scene before we can advance a hose line into a structure fire. 2 firefighters on the hose line and 4 on the outside of the structure.
The call volume has steadily increased for many years, and so going back down to 5 has set us back into the 70s with twice the call volume.
They're stretched to the max and they're tired, and that's part of the issue.
It's such a multifaceted job, and I think that's why everybody is drawn to it, is what you get to see every day. Every day is a challenge. You don't know what you're going to get.
You got to be a mechanic, you got to be a carpenter, you got to be a machinist, and all those skills come back when you're on an emergency.
At any given moment, we could be going to the worst call of our lives. When people dial 911, it's because they've come across a problem that they cannot solve. We are 911. There is no 911 for 911.
At some point in time, the requirements of a fire department pass the ability of a small city to effectively provide those services. This building doesn't meet the state requirements. It has been deemed to not be safe for essential services. We took down the tower. That was determined to be a collapse hazard.
Once the fire station was deemed uninhabitable, the temporary solution was to move us into trailers.
The problem is living in a trailer. Half of our stuff is over at the old station and half of it is here.
We've had to build this so that we can have our personal protective gear somewhat close to where we're staying.
We have mutual aid agreements and automatic aid agreements with Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach, Torrance. The automatic aid is our neighbors are started immediately on dispatch. Mutual aid is that the first unit gets on scene and requests additional units.
On a non-rescue fire, we can't make entry without having another engine on scene.
When we have back-to-back multiple calls, or there's more than one patient, or a traffic accident that we have extrication issues, that's when we rely on our auto aid.
Almost every major fire that you're aware of in the past we've been to. If we get deployed on a strike team, our engine is gone for a minimum of 14 days. We've gone all over California.
The 2 options are to appropriately fund and support an in-house localized fire department. The second option would entail contracting services with LA County Fire Department.
There isn't anything they can't do. They have all the skill sets. They have all the knowledge. They have the training facilities. They have the infrastructure to meet the demands of a community and the requirements of a modern fire department.
No matter what solution the city and the residents come up with, they have to build a new fire station. Building a new fire station does not resolve our lack of staffing issues. What can the city sustain financially, and what is feasible when you match it with the expectations of what the community really wants?
The citizens of Hermosa Beach will have to decide on level of service, control, and cost. When we say level of service, what does that mean? What does it look like? And control. What is control? How much do you control today, and what would you control if you didn't provide in-house services? And then the cost, comparing outside services to in-house services.
We care about this community, and we do everything we can to make sure that we're meeting their expectations and to give them the best service. We are not currently staffed or resourced to meet those expectations.